Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for a special video of Ready to Love. And it's supposed to be a car talk, but as y'all can see, ain't no car around. Ain't no car around. It is just me in my old little office at my house. And there ain't no car around. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to have the talk without the car. And I really hadn't planned on being here. Most of y'all know I normally do my car talks on Monday. But I had to come in here early. I mean, y'all really, y'all you know what? I love everybody who watches my show. And I want to first of all say this. First of all, thank you for helping me get to 6,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I'm really just in awe, and I'm really in awe of all of you for helping me get here to 6,000 subscribers. I want to thank all y'all. At this point, y'all ain't even subscribers. You darn near, you like family. You family. Some like family you get along with, and some family you don't get along with, but you still invited to Thanksgiving dinner. Just don't cause too much mess. You still invited to Thanksgiving dinner, but don't get uninvited. But for real, y'all been wonderful. And let me tell you, that wonderfulness, okay, had all of you guys dropping down in my comments, because y'all know I read my comments, texting me, DMing me, doing whatever you need to do to let me know, Deborah, they dragging your name out here in these streets. First, I was like, really? I was like, probably got to be with Vanessa, because Vanessa was down in my comments. Actually, it's been a couple of weeks ago that she went down in my comments because I triggered her. I triggered her on that video I did with Dominique. And I mentioned some of the things that Dominique said. We're going to get to that. Not what I said, but what Dominique said. And I guess in my recapping of the video, the original video was on Crystal XO. I triggered Vanessa, and then, Vanessa had to come on down in my comments. And I really didn't think nothing of it. I didn't really have no problem with what Vanessa said to me. I didn't believe none of it. I knew that it was a lie what she was saying about me, and down in the comments. We're going to talk about that. And at first I didn't really know why she did it. I was kind of dumbfounded, but I was like, why would she do this? Why would she stir this up like this? And my first inclination was that Vanessa was just promoting her YouTube channel. So, I didn't care. Hey, I was beginning out on the YouTube channel, so I understand how you want to get the word out about your channel. I didn't necessarily agree with the method she was using to promote her YouTube channel, but I kind of saw through it and saw this is just so, people will read my comments and then they'll go over to her station. I don't know. It just seemed kind of juvenile to me, kind of whatever, but I didn't care. Don't bother me. Y'all know I'm a Taurus. I am a Taurus, and maybe everything ain't right about Taurus. Well, there's a couple of things that's correct about me with Taurus. One is I'm very, very loyal. I'm a very loyal person. That is true about Tauruses. But the other part about Taurus, I think they call us stubborn. And I can see that sometimes. But I think the stubbornness for me comes in, I just got thick skin. Like, a bull. A bull got thick skin. You're going to have to really, really do a lot to really hurt our feelings real bad. I don't have thin skin, y'all. I really don't. I don't have thin skin, so I don't get too riled up what people say. So I kind of just, overlook it. So even the stuff that Vanessa said, I saw through it. I saw right through it. Anybody, you guys read my, watch my channel, that I see through a lot of things. And I saw through what Vanessa was doing. But I let her go on and do it. It's kind of like a bull out in the jungle, a Taurus the bull out in the jungle, and a little fly lands on the bull. The bull don't get upset because that little fly, it could be biting at that bull's thick leather skin, and it don't even pierce the skin of the bull. That's kind of how I felt. I felt like I saw the poking that Vanessa was doing, But really, y'all, it really didn't bother me. I did address it though a little bit because I felt like, you might have gone a little too far because she brought in her son, and I thought she really shouldn't have brought her son into it. So I did chastise her and correct her over there. Yeah, I chastised her as an older auntie. I chastised her, but all the rest of the stuff that she, wanted to maybe say about me, I didn't really have no problem with it. I'm okay with it. Like, one thing I like about my chat is I do like people to be able to speak their mind as long as they are being somewhat respectful. I know a lot of people got mad at Dominique when he dropped down there and started calling me an old grandma and MF. I wasn't even mad at that, Dominique, to tell you the truth. When I was telling Dominique he curses too much, it wasn't because I ain't never heard it. I got some cussing people in my family, let me tell you, and shoot, they will put Dominique to shame, So I wasn't telling Dominique to stop cussing because my ears are so pristine. They not. They really not. But I was just telling him because, a lot of people's ears are way more pristine than mine. And I just, like I said in the video, I thought Dominique was a smart man. And I just felt like he had other words he could choose that he would have been able to gather the attention of a lot more people. Because I think a lot of people were turned off by Dominique's speech. But I thought that Dominique in that whole interview had some good messages, but yet some of his speech turned people away. And should I know that because a lot of the speech that I have on my video channel turns people away. And so I do know that we're never going to please everyone. And you do want to be authentic to who you are. But I told Dominique he should consider something different. And in fact, in that video, which we're really going to get into it, I even praised Vanessa and said that, if Dominique wants to be able to attract more women like Vanessa, he's going to have to get rid of some of that cussing. So I actually elevated Vanessa, and there was a couple of people in my comments that said, "Why are you elevating Vanessa?" I was like, I elevated Vanessa. I told Dominique, hey, if you want a woman like Vanessa or Alexis, which were the two women he said he liked, I said, you might have to stop all this cussing, but shoot, I might have to bring Vanessa back on down to the ground, to the gutter with the rest of us. I told Dominique he was from the bottom to the top, moving on up, George Jefferson. Shoot, I'm gonna have to put Vanessa in the elevator going down and not going up. But my video is about the truth shall set you free. Can I get a hallelujah and an amen? The truth shall set you free. Because if I'm going to come here and I'm going to do a card talk, I'm not going to do a card talk about Vanessa, just Vanessa and what she said. And, she's on a whole campaign. So first of all, thank you to all my viewers who let me know about the campaign Vanessa's on. I want to do some shout outs to some other bloggers because y'all told me about Chloe's channel, on her YouTube channel. She was covering the story. Thank you, Chloe. Shout out to Chloe. And also, of course, Kamisha Reviews, because Kamisha Reviews had a big part in Vanessa going from the top to the bottom. So Kamisha Review, and when I say Kamisha Reviews, I'm talking about the tea she spilled. She got the scoop. And I really believe that, I'm going to say this right now to Vanessa. I think Vanessa got. Now, if any of you watch my YouTube channels, you know my phrase when I say you got. Okay, I talked about it with Koshia. I talk about it all the time. And I don't even know you got. Did I make that up, or is that somewhere like in a movie or a street? Because I've been saying it my whole life. Don't get got out here. I don't even know where it come from. Is it just normal slang? Please let me know. Maybe it's an LA thing. I know we're talking about Will and Pompano Beach. Whoop, 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 whoop. Maybe it's an LA slang when I say don't get got. But I think what happened to Vanessa is Vanessa got. When I mean why this whole scandal going on out here now, with her audio and video being, not video, but her audio being leaked when Chaz got his phone hacked, or Chaz hacked his own phone. What's it called when you hack your own phone? Is that just punching in your passcode? My phone got hacked with my own passcode. I don't know if that's called hacking when all you do is push play, but hey, whatever it is, it is. But I think she got. See, I think this is my theory. Y'all know I'm into theories. I really believe that when Vanessa dropped down in my comments to comment on my video, I think Vanessa made up a whole story. Okay, I'm gonna tell you my theory, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start laying out my evidence. I think that Vanessa came down in my comments to, one, defend herself, of course, because she wants to defend herself, and she probably was she was definitely triggered by a lot of things that I said. But in order to make it, good and juicy, she had to embellish it. She had to sprinkle in a couple of lies. She had to doctor it up. When you got something kind of bland, because really what I said about Vanessa was bland. It didn't have no seasoned salt in it at all, y'all. It barely had any pepper and salt. It didn't have no seasoning salt. It didn't have no Lowry's, nothing. So I think what Vanessa was doing was Vanessa decided to doctor up my bland food, because it really wasn't all that spicy. The spiciness was pertaining to Dominique. The video was spicy, so definitely go back and watch the video, because the video itself was spicy, but the part about Vanessa really wasn't spicy at all, y'all. And I'm gonna play a little bit of it here. But I think Vanessa looked at it as an opportunity to promote her brand. Okay. And I think she said, you know what, let me go in here, create a little scenario with Auntie Deborah, and people will see my comment, because as you guys know, I don't do interviews. It's not my thing. It's not what I'm not comfortable with it. But I'll talk all day long with y'all down in the comments and everything, because but I can't do the long 2-hour videos. Long 2-hour interviews. I leave that to the professionals, such as Chris Alexo and Kojo over there on Little Black Book. And then what I do is I just review the video. I just review the interviews, because typically I can watch their videos in short periods of time. Y'all know I got a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes I can't even watch these videos in one sitting. Sometimes I have to watch them on my commute to work, or on my commute back from work. And typically my commute is only 35 minutes. So I typically can't watch a whole video. Sometimes it may take me 2 days. So I don't do interviews. I'm on the West Coast. Most of these people are on the East Coast. It's just it's not my thing. The time zone, my work, everything don't work. So anyway, I believe that Vanessa's plan was to come over to my channel, drop down in my comments, to use that opportunity to promote her channel, because she definitely plugged her channel in her comment to me. And what I typically do is, if one of the stars of the show, one of the cast members, drop in the comments, I typically will try to highlight their comments, either by pinning it or by, talking about it in another video, because I do appreciate cast members coming down, giving their perspective, calling me out when they think I'm wrong, telling me when, I got this part right, but you got this part wrong. A lot of cast members have done it this season, and in the last couple of seasons, a few have done it, and I don't have no problem with it. But Vanessa decided to take it to another level, and she decided, well, you know what, let me maybe use this as an opportunity to plug my own YouTube channel that she has. And so she plugged her channel. And I think where she got was, I think she was coming over to my channel to sort of use my little old platform. Like I said, I only got 6,000 subscribers. I only got 6,000. But let me tell you, my comments are hot. So you know what? She did a good thing, because the comments over here, they be hot, y'all. I do my videos and I be waiting to see what y'all gonna write, because y'all, let me tell you, if I could have a studio audience, and give all y'all a mic, I would. I really would, because y'all's comments and stories, they really, now that's the Lowrys. Your guys' comments, now that's the Lowrys. The comments are the Lowrys. That's the seasoned salt. So anyway, so I believe Vanessa's reason for coming down was to promote her channel. So for that reason, and that reason, that's why I didn't really get too upset about it, because I kind of saw through it. I saw what she was doing, and I realized that I was just a pawn in her overall plan. Now I want you guys to remember this. I was a pawn in Vanessa's larger plan, which was to promote her YouTube channel. So I didn't really take it too personally, because I realized that what Vanessa was really kind of doing was she was just kind of using me a little bit. She was kind of using me to create a story or drop down so she could plug her own channel. Because remember, Vanessa hasn't done any interviews with Crystal XO. She hasn't done any interviews with anyone else, I don't think. I think she saves all of her content for her YouTube channel, which is fine. So that's what I said. I think she had an agenda. But I think what happened was Vanessa didn't realize how many other people read my comments. Once again, I think what Vanessa did was she underestimated the power of the comment section in my videos. And she used it in one way to help promote her YouTube channel, and she used it to maybe gather the type of viewers she would want to maybe come over and listen to her YouTube channel. But what she didn't count on was that in that pool of people reading my comments, there will be someone who would read the comments that wouldn't like what she said, and they wouldn't like that she added so much Lowry's to the food. You see, because there is a thing about over seasoning your food. That is a thing, y'all. You ever go and you have one person's food and it's bland and they got no seasoning, and you're like, oh, this shit is bland. And you add your little seasoning and you doctor it up. But there is another situation where you've added too much Lowry's. And I think what Vanessa did was Vanessa added too much Lowry's, and somebody had to check her on it, because it wasn't soon thereafter that Chaz's phone got hacked. It wasn't there. I think it must have been the next day, because the next day y'all was DMing me and let me know that Vanessa got. Vanessa came after you, Auntie Deborah, yesterday, and today she got. Woo! I had to look at it and I just started laughing. And even then, y'all, my Taurus, the bull skin I wasn't going to dance on Vanessa. I wasn't going to stand over Vanessa and say, I told you so, or look at you, or, do anything. I wasn't going to do none of that. I was, Vanessa came down for me, and then she got, but I wasn't going to go over there and do a dance or do no dance or no walk over Vanessa. It's just not my style. It's just not my style. But it didn't end there, y'all. She just kept going. And every day someone was sending me a message saying, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? I was like, oh my God, it's starting to get a little out of hand. So here I am. I know that was a long intro. Now here I am ready to talk about it, because I do want to elevate the conversation, because that is the purpose of these card talks. The card talks are supposed to be about elevating conversations from what we see on the show and now what's happening off the show, and elevating it to a higher level. And the elevation that I want to take all of you on, and especially Vanessa. Vanessa, get in the elevator with me, Vanessa. Get in this doggone elevator, because I'm going to need to take you up to the penthouse apartment, penthouse apartment where Dominique and Will are staying. We need to take you up to the penthouse apartment because I thought you was up there, but I guess you're not. And I'm going to have to take you on up there. Get in my private elevator so we can go. So the title of the video is called The Truth Will Set You Free. Hallelujah and amen. And I particularly want to concentrate on a part that I'm going to talk about when Vanessa responded to me. And she said in there, where's the protection for Black women? And I guess I was kind of triggered by that too, because I've just been dealing with over here on Married at First Sight. We had another young lady this year who her name was Emily. She was using a hashtag too called Women Support Women. All these people out here telling lies and doing wrong things. They sure got a hashtag. Where's the protection? They want protection. So I said, you know what? I think there's something missing from these hashtags, from the people using the hashtags. And that is protection requires accountability. And if I was able to really put the whole thing in my thumbnail, I would say that protection requires accountability and it requires cooperation. And if you are not accountable and you are not cooperative, it's hard for people to protect you. So before you ask for protection from anyone, what you need to first ensure is, are you accountable to the person that you're asking protection from? And are you cooperating with the person that's actually trying to protect you? I'm going to tell y'all a story about this because it's the one that came to mind. It's my own personal story. I remember me and my husband, we love to travel. We travel a lot internationally. And we're kind of the type of travelers where, we like to sort of sometimes go off the beaten path. We like to not always do all the touristy stuff, but some touristy stuff, some other stuff. And I remember one time my husband and I, it was just the two of us, and we were traveling in, I don't even know where we were. For some reason, my brain is saying that we were traveling in Thailand. That's what I want to say. We were traveling in Thailand. I mean, we weren't with a tour group or anything. It was just the two of us. And we were kind of walking through some streets or something within Thailand. And I'm not a tall person. I'm only 5'4.5". So I'm only 5'4.5", and my husband is 6'3". He might have shrunk a little bit now that we gotten older. Don't let him hear me say that. But anyway, my husband is 6'3". He might be down to 6'2". As we get older, our spines start curving. Shoot, pretty soon in another year or two, I'm not going to be 5'4.5". I'm going to be 5'3". But anyway, I digress. But so there's a big height difference in that respect with us, especially when I just, I got on tennis shoes because I'm walking around the streets of Thailand. So typically my husband will walk faster than me and I will walk slower than him because I can't walk as fast as he does. So this is an ongoing thing with us. Hey, slow down. I tell him to slow down. He tells me to speed up. Typically if we hold hands, that helps us keep our pace a little bit better. But if we're not holding hands in that moment, it's easy for him to walk ahead of me or me to fall behind on him, whichever way you want to look at it. Well, in this particular instance, that's what was going on. He was ahead of me and I was behind him. I'm not real far behind him, but I was definitely at least, 3-4 steps behind him. So, and like I said, we were in Thailand. We were in a strange country. We were by ourselves. We didn't, necessarily speak the language. And my husband, turns back at me and he says, hey, you need to catch up with me. And I said, well, you walking too fast. Anybody out there which got the height difference, this conversation. One person says walk faster. The other person says you walking too fast. That's what we was doing. Hey, you need to catch up with me and walk faster. Cause I think we were headed back to the hotel. And I said, well, you walking too fast. Slow down. And he says to me, I'm trying to remember the story correctly. He says to me, he turns around to me. He says, hey, give me your hand. Grab my hand, because I can't protect you when you're so far behind me. And I don't know where we are, and I don't know what's going to go on here, and I don't know anything about where we are. And so if I'm going to be the person to protect you, I'm going to need you to be closer to where I am so I can protect you. And what he did was he reached out his hand. I grabbed his hand. And by grabbing his hand, what ended up happening was I didn't just start walking faster, right, to match his pace. Because remember, I can't walk faster because I got a smaller gait. My legs are shorter. What ended up happening by him grabbing my hand is that he actually slowed down. And yes, I might have kept a better pace. So we kind of met in the middle. Imagine one person hand reached out and here I am, and you grab hands, you meet in the middle. But that is me getting protection from my husband. But in that protection of my husband, it required me to, one, cooperate with my husband in his request to grab his hand, because I could have slapped his hand away. I could have done that. I could have said, no, I don't want to hold your hand. I could have not cooperated and rejected it and been outside of my husband's protection. And I also had to be accountable to my husband because he had designated himself as a person who's here to protect me. And so I became accountable to him. So I also took his leadership and I took his hand. So protection requires accountability and it requires cooperation. Because if I had slapped his hand away and didn't grab his hand and something popped off, could I then come back and blame my husband? My husband told me he was willing to protect me. My husband told me he wanted to protect me. But my husband told me the things he was going to need from me in order to protect me. And had I rejected those things from my husband, could I come back then and blame my husband? I could pull a Vanessa, because that's what Vanessa did. What Vanessa's done all season is Vanessa has been outside of the walls of protection. I've been talking about this all season, that Vanessa has been dating Chaz in a bubble. Okay. And that bubble that she was dating him in is outside walls of protection. And what I've actually been doing all season long is trying to do what my husband did for me. I was trying to do it to Vanessa. Sure, it's hindsight because the show is over, but when I watch these shows, I'm not just doing it for the cast members. I'm doing it for people who are watching the show in real time. Sure, Vanessa's situation is over, so she really can't do what I'm telling her to do. I'm screaming at the TV, Vanessa, get up underneath the protection that I'm trying to give you. But I know it's too late for her. She's already done what she's done. But my videos go beyond the cast members. Like I said, I'm trying to elevate. I'm trying to go from the first floor to the 11th floor. And what Vanessa has done to me is she has slapped away my hand of protection that I was trying to give to her. And now what she is doing is Vanessa is blaming everyone else for the danger that she's in. She's blaming everyone else. So let me get to some of the nitty gritty, because I want to show a couple of things, because a lot of you may not have seen everything that's going on out there. I want to play a couple of clips. I'm going to talk some more about this protection and what happened to Vanessa and how you can avoid the mistakes of Vanessa when you grab the hand of protection and you don't slap it away and you don't feel as if you can do something different. Because the truth of the matter is Vanessa didn't just slap my hand away. Vanessa slapped away a lot of hands because of protection. We found out now over the course of this time that my warnings to Vanessa of who Chaz was, I said it from the beginning that Chaz was a cat daddy. I told everybody from the beginning that Chaz has been out here in these streets for 47 years. I told all these women. I told women who know some Chazes of the world that the Chazes of the world have been out here for 47 years. They've learned a lot. They've met a lot of women. They know a lot of tricks. They know a lot of maneuvers. And that is really difficult to get the Chazes of the world, older men in their 40s, late 40s. I'm going to specifically say that, late 40s, 50s, who've never been married or, don't want any children, who've accumulated some wealth in their year. It's hard to get them to the altar. And so I warned women and said, be careful of the Chazes of the world. Are they all bad? No, but I just said, be careful. Okay. It was my first warning. It's my first chance, my first attempt to provide some protection to some women out there and say, because typically a first warning comes verbally, right? Just like with my husband's first warning to me says, you need to walk faster. You need to keep up with me if you want me to protect you. That was verbal. The second warning typically becomes an actual physical gesture when he reached out his hand. So in my videos, I can't reach y'all. I can't touch y'all. I can't lock you in the house. I can't grab you. All I can do is verbally warn you. And that's what I did to Vanessa. I warned her about the Chazes of the world. And but Vanessa slapped my hand away. She slapped my hand away. But I wasn't the only one who warned Vanessa, because we find out in this whole debacle that the producers warned Vanessa. The producers have rules in place for protection. And those rules for protection are, hey, don't date outside the show. And they're there to protect you because if any of you guys watch Radio Love, like I have, like all the seasons, y'all will remember, it might have been 2, 3, 4 seasons ago. I forget which season it was. There were people going outside the show, which I know it happens in the cast. Everyone does it. And what I'm not going to talk about is what people do. I'm going to talk about the risk of what you do. And after you take that risk, when someone has warned you, then can you still blame the person who was trying to protect you? Can people warn you, make you sign papers, tell you not what to do, then you do it, and then when you do it, harm comes to you, can you then go back and blame the very people that warned you? That's what Vanessa did. So the producer said, hey, don't date outside the show. And what does Vanessa do? She dates outside the show. She dates Chaz in a bubble. And now she's in danger. And it's coming back on her. She's getting got. And now what she's doing is she's blaming people like me, anybody else out here who was talking about it. So once again, she slapped away that wall of protection. So remember, she slapped away my verbal protection. She has slapped away the protection of the producers. I also talked about in my videos that when Vanessa was dating Chaz in a bubble, she was outside the protection of the women group. That's what I said. Go back to my videos. I said, when you date Chaz in a bubble, what happens is he can say and do anything he wants to say. Then what can happen is, because you're in a bubble outside of the protection of the woman's lounge, the conversation, you can believe that he's only saying it to you. But really, he's saying it to a lot of other women. So once again, another bubble you're outside of, another protection you were outside of was the protection of the women's group, the lounge. Because now you can't tell people that you're dating Chaz off camera, which means in the lounge, you can't talk about any of that stuff. And if you were to bring it up in the lounge, what would happen is the other ladies would have been able to tell you, girl, he's saying the same thing to me. You would have had the protection of the lady circle. So once again, we've slapped away Auntie Deborah's hand. We've slapped away the producer's hand. And now we've slapped away the protection of the women's group. She even encourages Dominique, who has self-admitted that, you know, he does what he does or whatever else. There's a part that I'm going to talk about where even Dominique wanted to stay within maybe a couple of walls of protection and follow some of the rules. And Vanessa, we're going to look at it, says to him, are you a rules follower? Because I'm not. I said in my video that Vanessa should have stayed married. That's another thing that I think triggered her. And you know where else you get protection from? Marriage. That's what your husband is there for. What's the saying out here? Provide and protect. Well, in order to be protected by your husband, you got to be accountable to him. You got to be cooperative with him. And what we heard from Vanessa from the very beginning of this whole entire season was, I left that white man because I want to date men who are a little bit more revolutionary. She said, I need a man who's revolutionary, who colors outside the box, who breaks rules, who goes down dangerous streets and dangerous roads. I don't want to be where I am underneath the protection of this man. I want a man more revolutionary. Another slapping away of a hand that was probably there trying to protect her in some way, but Vanessa didn't want to listen. She didn't want to listen. So Vanessa hasn't listened to me. Vanessa hasn't listened to the producers. Vanessa is lying to the producers. She's lying to the audience of Ready to Love. She's lied on me. She's lying to all of you. She's lying to the young woman that she does the video channel with. And then what Vanessa wants to do is, when she gets got by this person who hacked Chaz's phone, she wants to say that we're doing it. We did it to her. We are the ones who have harmed her, not her. We are. We're the ones that harmed her, not she stepping outside the walls of protection, not being cooperative, not being accountable. No, we are the problem, and she is not the problem. And like I said before in all my videos, one of the things that always seems to happen with a lot of cast members sometimes is after things go wrong, things go bad, their time on the show is ended or something goes afoul, it's always about what other people did. It's never about what they do. So like I said, this video was about the truth shall set you free, and that protection comes at a price. And the price is that you have to be accountable and you have to be cooperative. And once you've decided that you don't want to be accountable and you don't want to be cooperative, you're on your own. And don't come back knocking on my door talking about what I did to you when I was one of the ones who tried to put a hedge of protection around you, tried to warn you. And like I said, this is all over with. But the fact that Vanessa is still rejecting my hedge of protection, and not only is she rejecting my hedge of protection, she's actually taking it on the road to disparage my already bad name. I ain't gonna say it's a good name, because in some circles it's already a bad name. I see you, Mika. I see you giving me a bad name. I'm okay with it, Mika. I'm okay with it, girl. Because who knows? One day I might be in Dallas, Fort Worth, and I might need a facial. And I'm going to come see you. Mika. Just don't be hurting me on them extractions. Just don't be hurting me on them extractions. But let's get going because I'm not going to just sit here and talk about it. I'm going to be about it. I'm not going to just talk about it. I'm going to be about it. So first of all, I'm going to take y'all back to a little bit how we even got here. How the hell did we get here? Because that's what I kept saying initially. It was like, how the hell did we even get here? So I want to play for y'all where it all began. Like I said, where it all began was that I watched Crystal XO's interview with Dominique. I did a whole video on it. And in the video, Dominique says something about when they're talking about Vanessa, Chaz, and, just about the show, period. And this is what is said. So let's listen to this.
But I do think the ladies all doing that. There's another very important piece to that puzzle. Not only is he got all these things, but initially it was kind of set up to where it looked like Vanessa was the untouchable, right? Because it was like Chaz and Vanessa, they have this, and I feel like the other women saw that and were like,
okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Did you guys hear the word Vanessa was sort of untouchable? Hope you heard it. I didn't come up with that word. I'm reviewing and recapping the show. That's what I do. Okay? So the word untouchable is not my word. I'm reviewing and recapping the show. And I don't even think it was a bad word. I don't even think Crystal XO meant it in a bad way. I think what she was saying was that, Vanessa is kind of like up on a pedestal. I think it was actually said in a way that was, in a lot of ways, kind of giving Vanessa a little bit of a compliment. Crystal XO was really, really elevating her. And I elevated her. But let's go ahead. Let's listen. So now we know that I was not the one that used or coined the phrase untouchable. So that's going to be we're going to get back to this when we start running down these lies on Vanessa, who's the real liar. Now I was not the one who came up with the word untouchable. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. I want that.
That's just the TV because she wasn't untouchable. She was touchable.
Okay.
But I think
okay, did we hear that? Did we hear Dominique say, nah, that's just for TV? She wasn't untouchable. She was touchable. That's what he said. Remember, I'm a reviewer and recapper of the show. These are not my interviews. Dominique said that she is not untouchable. That's just the show. She's definitely touchable. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about is what he said. Okay, so at this point in time, I didn't even know that Vanessa had gone out with Dominique off camera behind the scenes. I only learned this just yesterday because y'all done sent me to her YouTube channel where she confesses and tells everything. And I come to find out that she just not only dated Chaz off camera, she dated Dominique off camera. So Dominique's the one on here talking about, no, Vanessa is definitely touchable. Is definitely not untouchable. She's touchable. She said that. In fact, Dominique dropped down in my comments, and when I was complaining about him, saying he cusses too much, and I was elevating Vanessa, it was Dominique who told me, no, Vanessa like a little bit of ratchetness. It was Dominique who said it. Now, I didn't even bring that up in my video, but it was Dominique who said, nah, Vanessa likes a little bit of ratchetness, a little bit of revolutionary. So now we know we can debunk the first lie, and that is that I came up with the phrase word untouchable. Wasn't me. wasn't me. And then we can also debunk that I wasn't the one that said Vanessa was touchable. I am reporting on the review. And what I said was Dominique said that Vanessa was touchable. So, so there you have it. Now I want to go on to after that Crystal XO video, and I watched it. Now I want to go on to what I said. I'm gonna play my video of so here is my video on recapping what Dominique just said on Crystal XO video. So y'all can hear what I said. Not what Vanessa said I said, but y'all can hear what I said. Because he said the two women that he liked was Vanessa and Alexis. And I don't think either one of them women would like all this cussing. But he said Vanessa really was the one he was really, really, really drawn to because, she was his type. She was his type. He liked a lot of things about Vanessa, but we saw that Vanessa really didn't give him much time. And you know what? He dropped a lot of good little tidbits of information in this interview. He was all over the place. It wasn't just an interview about Dominique. I'll say this. The interview was about a lot of different things. Some of the stuff I didn't really care about. Mike Epps. I don't care about that. But he did drop some information about Vanessa. And that, everybody thought Vanessa was, I think the word they used was untouchable, that she was so pristine, like I said, up on this pedestal. And Dominique made it let it be known that, no, she's touchable. She's touchable. Well, we know she's touchable now, Dominique. But we heard it from Dominique that she's absolutely touchable. So this here is not the complete truth. What he made clear was that Vanessa wanted to protect her image because she's got young children or a young son at home, which she knew eventually he might watch the show. And she wanted to make sure she presented herself in a very good light, which I get that. I understand that. She wanted to make sure that she didn't do anything on the show that her son could see that would make him be like, dang, mommy. But Dominique said she is touchable. And we know she's touchable because we know that she and Chaz have done some touching. I'm not going to say they slept together, but they done some touching. So we know she's touchable for one. So there you have it. What I said was that Dominique said that she's touchable. She's not untouchable. She's definitely touchable. What I said was Dominique said that she's untouchable. And in fact, I even went a step further to say that I'm not going to say they slept together because I didn't know if they had or not. And I still don't know if they had or not. So I didn't even say, I think they slept together. I just said that I know there's been some touching. Now, touching, I don't know what y'all call touching. But to me, it doesn't say that I said she slept with him. And in fact, I said, I'm not going to say that they slept together. Okay. So the fact that Vanessa drops down in my comments and lies on me, and then she also lies on, I believe that she's lying on her son. I do not believe that clip, which, how long was that clip? It literally was about 5 seconds, that part. Vanessa wants me to believe that her son walked in on that. So let me read to you what Miss Vanessa then writes to me. Now remember, I watched the Dominique video with Crystal XO. I do a recap. I say, he says she's touchable. I believe it. I believe she's touchable, but I'm not going to go so far as say they slept together. That's what I said. And I said that she was there to protect her son. At the time, I didn't even know how old her son was. I was thinking that when Dominique was saying he wanted to protect her son, I was thinking her son was at an age where he was old enough to go to like certain, YouTube channels and Google her and do all this other kind of stuff. Who knew that her son was only 5 years old? Why the heck is Vanessa listening to my videos with a 5-year-old in the room? That's why I kind of knew all this was a lie. I don't believe it. I believe that Vanessa is a good mother, and I just want to believe that Vanessa's a good mother, and I don't want to believe that Vanessa actually would let her 5 or 6-year-old listen to a whole video about me talking about Dominique cussing. Let me tell you, that video was about Dominique cussing. I just don't believe that she, as a mother who was so protective over her image, as she says, would let her son listen to a whole 40-minute video. Or you're trying to tell me that in that exact 5-second clip where I said she's touchable, he walked in the room and he was able to look at her phone. Anyway, let me show y'all what this girl, Vanessa girl. Like I said, outside the walls of protection, this is what happens when you go outside of the walls of protection and you're not cooperative nor are you accountable. Because now that you're outside the walls of protection, now, if I do believe what Vanessa's saying, that means she was careless outside of the walls of protection to the point now that she exposed her own son to even more danger. So not only did she put herself in danger, harm's way, she now has completely exposed her son. Because remember, I'm just a little old channel over here celebrating 6,000 subscribers. What Vanessa did by dropping down in my comments was she took her comments and spread them throughout the internet. Everybody doesn't always drop down in my comments. Everybody doesn't always read all my comments. But because Vanessa decided to respond to my comments and then go on her own YouTube channel and further talk about my video that she said harmed her son, all she did was increase the eyes on it. So if you're here to protect your son, why would you keep promoting the words that you just said harm your son? So once again, are we really in the mode of protection, or are we in the mode for self-promotion? What type of protection is this? That if someone has done something to harm you, what you then do is you further expose it, give it more light, give it more air. You promote it not only on your channel, but you promote it so much so that now you got other bloggers who are bigger than my channel actually talking about it. Who would do that? You know who would do that? A person who really wasn't looking out for anyone. A person who wasn't looking out for anyone but themselves. And it goes back to what I think Vanessa was doing in the beginning. She wasn't really there for other people to pick up this story and then use it to sort of bash her over the head. She was there to promote herself. She was there to get something out of it. It's what I told you the basic thing about getting God out here is about. It's about, you think you about to get something from someone. You think you about to get over on them. You think you about to extract from them something you want. Then what happens is the tables get turned and you get got. And I didn't even need to turn the tables. You see, sometimes when you get got, the person you was trying to use and abuse, they're the ones that turn the tables on you and get you. But I didn't even take the bait. When Vanessa came over here to get me, I didn't even take the bait, y'all. I left it alone. But unfortunately, someone else out there saw what Vanessa wrote. And here's what Vanessa wrote. Mrs. Deborah, I was watching this review on my phone in my room, and despite a well-executed effort, well, I don't know if it was done so well, but anyway, let's just go on, to present myself respectfully on the show, my 6-year-old. So when Dominique was talking about her son, I didn't know her son was 6 years old, but that actually makes it worse because a 6-year-old definitely needs protection. My 6-year-old son walked into my room and stared horrified at the phone as you described how I've been touching Chaz off camera. Okay, so let's break this down. First of all, if I'm watching a phone and the phone obviously, like I said, the video's long, has been talking about age inappropriate things for a 6-year-old. Your son walks into the room. You don't pause the video. You don't stop and pause the video. You don't have earbuds in. So you want to tell me you're watching my video, a 30-minute video with all type of cussing in it, different type of stuff, inappropriate conversation for a 6-year-old. Your 6-year-old walks into the room, and then not only does he walk in the room, he walks over to you. He's able to focus in on a little old phone. We're not even talking about a TV. She don't even got me up on the big screen TV, y'all, with the HD where someone could walk in the room and see the big old big screen. She on a phone, and you mean to tell me that the 6-year-old can walk into the room, look at a little bitty old phone and stare at it, and you haven't moved. You haven't flinched. You didn't put the phone away. You didn't turn the phone off. You didn't turn the phone down. You didn't turn the volume down. You did nothing. Your son was able to make it from the door to the phone and stare at the phone and then become horrified all in 5 seconds, because literally the part I said about she's touchable literally was about 5 seconds. All that happened in 5 seconds, Vanessa. Vanessa, this is a lie. This is a lie, Vanessa, and the whole lie was made up just so you could promote your YouTube channel. You used me, okay? You used me to promote your YouTube channel. Well, now you got notoriety. Now your name is in lights, but I don't know if it's in lights the way you want it to be lights, because like I said, in the end, she got. But anyway, she says he walked into my room, stared horrified at the phone as you described how I've been touching Chaz off camera. I didn't say that. I repeated it. I said that Dominique said that you're touchable. And what I did was I recapped the show. And at the time, I didn't even know if Dominique had gone on a date with you. So Dominique has said you're touchable, and Dominique dated you. He went out on a date with you. So if you have a problem with someone saying you're touchable, you need to go to Dominique, the one who originally said it, and ask him why he would lie about whether or not you're touchable. But you probably can't, because in the end, it was proven right by you. It was proven right by you. For the record, there has been no sexual relationship between Chaz and I on or off camera. That's good. In fact, I said it. I'm not going to say they slept together, and I'm not saying it. So that's fine if you want to clear that up, but I never said you did. Okay? I had to explain to my son that you were lying. What was I lying about? Was I lying about what Dominique said? No, I was not lying about what Dominique said. Was it a lie that you are indeed touchable? No, because later on you admit that you kissed Chaz. That's touching. Kissing is touching. So no. So now, Vanessa, the problem we got here is you've lied to me. You've lied on me, and now you're actually lying to your son, because you're telling your son that I'm the liar when the reality is you're the liar. I'm not the liar. You're the liar. So your lie to your son is even worse, because you actually didn't take accountability, okay, for what you did. You could have just said, even if it were the truth, your son saw it, oh, this lady is talking about that I kissed a man. That's what you could have said. That's what you could have said. I never said that you had sex with Chaz. You could have said, even if it were true, with I don't believe it's true, you could have said, oh, she's talking about because I kissed someone that I liked. What's wrong with that? You took it to the gutter, Vanessa. You took it to the gutter, and you lied not only to me, you lied on me, and you lied to your son. It is baffling the way I have gotten caught in the crossfires of these men's egos. Like I said, now who's the victim? Like I said, once someone tries to put a hedge of protection around you, I tried to protect you, Vanessa. The producers tried to protect you, Vanessa. The ladies' lounge tried to protect you, Vanessa. Tommy tried to protect you, Vanessa. The fans try to protect you, Vanessa. But you're outside of the hedge of protection, and now you are a victim. You got caught in the crossfires of the men's egos. That's because you're outside of the walls of protection. That's what happens. You get caught in crossfire. What do you think it means when you go outside of the walls of protections? That means you get caught in crossfires. Vanessa somehow believes that she can go outside the walls of protection and not get caught by the crossfire. Well, Vanessa, that's the very purpose of the protection, so you don't get caught. So, like I said, what's going on with Vanessa? Vanessa should have stayed married. But she couldn't stay married because she probably didn't want to listen to that man. She probably didn't respect that man, just like she got on here in the beginning of the show and said, I didn't want to be married to no white man no more because I want somebody more revolutionary, somebody that likes to break the rules. Not anybody who's probably trying to keep me safe and secure, but where I can go out here and break some rules. And then once I break the rules and I get caught in the crossfire, then I can blame all the men and their egos. And then I can blame the other big bad wolf, Deborah, who not only messed me up, but also messed up my 6-year-old son. When Vanessa had the complete power to not only protect herself, she had the power to protect her son, but she did neither one of that. But all of a sudden, it's our fault. Ugh, this is ridiculous. And I have only showed both of them care, and they both have claimed to care for me. Well, I don't know if he showed them care. I already talked about Vanessa's bad customer service. What would make men say these things about you on camera if you were caring about them so well? Maybe that's another delusion of Vanessa. Maybe Vanessa thinks she's delivering good customer service and people don't feel like it was good customer service. You ever go to a restaurant and the waiter or the waitress expects a 20% tip and you say this service was horrible, horrible. And then they get mad at you because you leave a bad Yelp review or you don't leave them 20% tip. You leave them maybe 15 or 10 or you don't tip them at all. And now they want to talk bad about you because they say, well, I serviced you. Why didn't you leave me a good tip? Well, maybe they weren't happy with your service. Maybe they weren't happy. So when Vanessa is saying, I've done only show them care and they both claim to care for me, maybe they weren't satisfied with the level of care you gave them. I don't know. Have you reviewed their complaint? No, because like I said, bad customer service people don't like to look at their own reviews. They just want to blame you for the bad customer service they received. Vanessa, go talk to Chaz and Dominique and ask Dominique why he would go into the video with Chris Alexo or the interview and say you touchable. Go talk to him. Don't come over here blaming me. Go talk to your customers and ask your customers why they said what they said. Where is the protection of black women in that? The protection is in the protection circle. That's where the protection is. You outside of the protection circle, Vanessa. You outside of my protection. You outside the protection of the producers. You outside the protection of the audience. You outside the protections of the ladies' lounge. You outside the protection of Tommy. You outside the protection of your husband. You are outside of the walls of protection. So when you ask, so where is the protection of the black woman? It's over here. You're over there. You're outside. The protection of the black woman or women, period, is here. It's here in telling the truth. It's here in taking accountability. It's here in being in cooperation. You're not here. You over there. You on dates outside the show. Okay? You doing your own thing. That's good. Do it, girl. You are grown. You can do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, when you want to do it. But what you can't do is you can't go over there and then yell at the people over here who were here to protect you and then blame the people over here. You can't do that because then you're not having no accountability and you're not in cooperation with the group. Then this is where she does her plug on her show. And she says, I do an episode recap weekly on Match, Marry, Mate. Go on over there and watch it, y'all. I'm a fellow YouTuber. Go on over there and watch it. YouTube channel. I would recommend you tune in. That's for all y'all. Tune in, y'all. Tune in, y'all. 8 Eastern time, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific time. This is a plug. I would recommend you tune in if you want to have a better understanding of me and my thought process rather than perpetuating lies and speculation. I'm not perpetuating lies and speculation. I'm saying that Dominique, who went out with you, said you're touchable. I'm not lying. He said it. And in fact, it's not a lie because later on you admit that you was touched by Chaz because you kissed Chaz and you actually turned him down. Well, what I think happened, y'all, was I think, like I said, Vanessa underestimated who reads the comments on my YouTube channel. And they read the comments and they leaked the audio. And I'm going to play now. If you guys haven't listened to it, I'm going to leak the audio of what was leaked. Because I think what a person, the hacker, let's just call him a hacker. We ain't going to call him Chaz with his passcode. We're going to call him a hacker. Said, Vanessa lying over there down in Auntie Deborah's chat. She lying. And I'm going to prove that she's a liar. And I'm going to leak this audio. Because the timing was immaculate. Immaculate. So let's listen to what they leaked.
But I was just sitting here on the phone. I was telling my friend, I was telling my best friend, I'm like, I told Tommy I haven't seen, I still have not had an intimate date with Chaz. I be around there complaining about how we don't have time together. And then she said, meanwhile, you in the parking lot tugging him down. The inconsistency, because I be in there really painting a picture like, you guys have deprived me of time with Chaz. Whole time, we just figuring out what we need to do. That is really funny to me. She had me cracking up. She's like, not you on the screen complaining about never being able to see Chaz and grow your relationship. And then next week, you're going to be on the episode pregnant. And everybody is going to be looking like, how did this come about? I don't know. I think that was a moment where you had to be there, but I felt like when I retold that was going to be funnier, but I was crying, like little tears, laughing at the way that she was making it. Because I'm a better actor than I realized that I was, because I'm really committed to, on the TV world, that they are not doing what they need to do for our relationship. But I guess in real life, it's better than I'm making it seem. That just had me laughing. I wanted to share.
So first of all, it's a lot in there. Vanessa calls herself, she's a better actor than she thought. That'll tell you something right there. That's why I believe a lot of this was acting. What she did was she exposed all her lies. So when she asked, where's the protection? It's here, not there. And in fact, she laughed at her protection. She laughed at how she was tricking the producers. She laughed at how she's tricking all the ladies on the show because the ladies don't know she's really going out with Chaz behind the scenes. She's laughing at how she's going to be tricking all of us and how we're going to be confused when, I wind up pregnant, the joke or whatever. She's laughing at that. So she's laughing at us. She's laughing at the producers. She's laughing at all the other ladies. And then what was really dumbfounding about this was, to be honest with you, I was also dumbfounded. What was this message? Because at first I thought, did someone secretly record Vanessa? Because I remember seeing that Facebook post when Alexis had said people were recording her. When I heard this message, I thought, wow, this sure is long. Is this her conversation? Come to find out, it was a voicemail. Who leaves a voicemail like this on a person's phone, a man's phone? Who even leaves voice messages? Do people still leave voice messages? I told you Vanessa ain't prepared for dating in 2024. Do people leave voice messages anymore? And when they do leave them, do they leave them this long, having a full-on conversation on the voice message? Don't do it on my phone. You ain't going to get heard. You ain't going to get heard because I don't even listen to my voice messages. I will call you back before I listen to a 3-minute voice message from you. People are like, did you listen to my voice message? No, I just saw you call me. I'm just calling you back to find out what is it that you said. I am guilty of that. I will not sit there and listen to no long voice message. I will push dial, call you and say, hey, I got your message, but I didn't listen to it. What'd you say? So who the hell leaves voice messages like that? You know what? It sounds kind of desperate to me. It sounds like a person who wants to talk to someone, and that is Chaz, but Chaz hasn't been calling her. And as a result of not being able to talk to him, she settles for talking to him on this voice recording. You ever want to talk to somebody, but they don't pick up the phone, so you just want to talk to them anyway and get it off your chest, so you record it? That's what it sounds like. It sounds kind of ridiculous, and it sounds too early to be leaving a man a voice message this long, because supposedly this was their first date. So you go out on a first date with a person and then you leaving a message this long for him. Like I told you, Vanessa got too comfortable with Chaz way too soon. I told you that when her feet were up on the couch. I told you that when she was sitting in that front seat of that car. I told you that all the things Vanessa was doing territorial, as if she were the wife. She got mad when Alexis came to that house for Meet the Friends. She was wondering why was anyone else there but her. I'm the queen of this house. There were a lot of signs that Vanessa got way comfortable with Chaz way too soon. And this voicemail is another indication of it. Why are you leaving me a voicemail this long, and I just met you? I just met you and you're leaving me a voicemail this long. And the story you're telling, oh, I was tonguing you down in the car. It sounds really childish and immature. It sounds like a middle school person. It sounds like a high school person. What grown woman leaves a message like this on a man's phone for it even to get hacked? I was confused by that, y'all. I really thought it was a conversation. But you mean to tell me it was a full-on message, and then after you left the message, you didn't even delete the message? You didn't even realize, dang, I don't think I should leave such a long voicemail. Let me delete that and just say, hey, give me a call when you get a chance. No, she left it. She left it. And in the voice message, she's not only talking about how she lied to the producers. She's lying to the producers. She's tricking the producers. She's manipulating the producers. She's talking about she's lying to the audience. Okay? She's exposing herself for all her lies and manipulation. And then she has the audacity to come over here and say that I'm the liar. I'm the liar? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But it didn't stop there, y'all. It didn't stop there. She kept it going. She kept promoting it. She kept going on the circuit on her own YouTube channel and talking about me even more. I'm not going to replay all the things that she said about me. But if you want to hear it, go on over. I'm going to plug the show for you, Vanessa. Mary Match. Is that what it's called? Hold on. Let me get it right. Either Match Mary or Mary Match. One of the two. Go on over there and listen to the YouTube video. You can hear the full-on blown thing. But here is another part where Vanessa doesn't expose my lies, right? She starts to talk about the lies she told. And she talks about how she further went out the walls of protection. But now she's asking, where is the protection for the black woman? Like I said, it's here. It's not over there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen.
And I was insistent that they give it, but at some point, I decided to make dates with my connection. So I went on a date with Dominique outside the show, and I also went on a date with Chaz outside the show.
There you go. Walls of protection. Producer said, don't go on dates outside of the show. I'm sure they had to sign some rule sheet. Don't do it. Vanessa said, I don't like your rules. I made the decision. I made the decision not only to go out with Chaz outside the show, I made the decision to go out with Dominique. And like I said, you're grown, Vanessa. You can do anything you want to do. But when you get in trouble and when you're in the crossfires of these men's egos, you can't then come back and blame the protection circle when you left the protection circle. You left the protection circle. You know, like I just said, I could have slapped my hand away from my husband, but that means I would have been outside of the protection. Vanessa decided. Vanessa, as a grown woman, decided to do that. Is kissing touching, or is there a new way to kiss nowadays? Is there a new way to kiss that I don't know about it? So when Dominique said Vanessa's touchable, she's indeed touchable. He was not lying. When I repeated what Dominique said and said, yeah, Dominique said Vanessa's touchable, I believe it. I do believe that she's touchable. She just told me she and Chaz kissed. They tongued each other down. Sounds like it's true to me. So why would Vanessa come and lie on me? Like I said, she came to promote herself, but she got. That's what she came to do. She came to promote her video channel, but she got. So she got attention, all right. It may not be the type of attention she planned for, but she got it all right. Let's hear what else Vanessa did.
The point of not meeting off camera is so that they don't miss anything. If something big happens, how are we going to retell the story that you guys got in a fight somewhere or whatever, right? So it's just like things, but...
Okay, wrong, Vanessa. That's not the point. That's not the whole point. See, Vanessa said the point of not meeting outside of the show is so that they don't miss anything. She framed it from it's all for the benefit of the producers. She didn't frame it from the benefit of her. Because like I told you, if anybody's watched Ready to Love, there have been some situations where dating outside the show has gone wrong. Okay, because I'm sure they do some level of background check on all these people, but they don't fully check these people. What would happen if you got in some real danger? Now you could come back and say, you done put people on the show, and now I've been done harm by these people that you put me together on the show. That's why the show is telling you don't meet off camera, because now you're outside the walls of the protection. See, Vanessa says, well, the walls weren't there for protection. They were just for the producers not to miss any good footage. No, Vanessa, it was there to protect you. But once again, what does Vanessa do? She shoos away the hand of protection, because Vanessa only wants to do what she wants to do. And then she wants to complain about it. She wants to have bad customer service. She wants to talk bad about what you did, but she wants zero accountability. And she doesn't want to cooperate with the very people that are there to protect her. So no, the rules aren't there just so that they can get some footage of you. The rules are there to protect you, Vanessa. But once again, the rules are here and you over there. Let's keep going.
And I said it like a few episodes ago when Dominique and I had that conversation. Like, you like to follow rules? And I'm like, well, if the rule makes sense, I will follow. If it doesn't make sense for me, though, I'm bucking. That's just how I am. And it was really in the best interest because...
She says... She not only was outside the walls of protection, she coerced and convinced Dominique to come outside the walls of protection. Now, did it require a whole lot of coercion, a whole lot of convincing? Maybe it didn't. But the fact of the matter is, she said, do you like to follow rules? Because I don't. And if the rule don't make sense, I'm bucking it. No, it's not if the rule don't make sense. It's if the rule doesn't fit her needs. She's bucking it. She's bucking it. She's leaving. She's leaving the marriage. She's leaving the walls of protection. She's bucking it. I'm bucking your advice too, Auntie Deborah. I'm bucking the producers. I'm bucking Tommy's. I'm bucking the women's circle of protection. I'm bucking it all because the rules don't make sense to me and the rules don't get me to where I want to go. That's fine. Go off on your own. Do what you want to do. But when you get caught in the crossfires, as you say, Vanessa, don't come back and blame the very people who were trying to protect you. So when you start blaming Dominique for not caring for you, okay, you took him outside the walls of protection. You Eve biting of the apple. Okay, you done dragged him outside the walls of protection. You blaming me. You blaming other bloggers. You blaming producers. You blaming everybody except yourself for making the decisions that you made. Zero accountability, zero cooperation does not get you the protection that you're asking for. If you want protection, and this is a message to everybody, because like I said, I'm trying to elevate this. I'm trying to go from the bottom floor to the top floor to the penthouse apartment. If you want protection from anybody, anyone, any group, then you need to be accountable to that group and you need to fall in cooperation with that group. You cannot have zero accountability, have zero cooperation, and then expect that same group, that entity, that person, that whatever to still protect you when in reality, you put them in harm. You put Chaz in harm's way, you put Dominique in harm's way, and you put your son in harm's way. But yet, when it all blows up in your face, when you get got, You use your Chaz as a pawn. You use your child as a pawn. You blame Dominique for not caring for you. You blame Chaz for not caring for you. And you blame me from trying to warn you as well. Zero accountability and zero cooperation leads to zero protection. That's the math. That is the math. Get your calculator out, because that's the math. Anyway, that's it, y'all. I will see you later on for the recap review on Saturday of this episode, the new episode coming up of Ready Love. Talk to y'all later. Bye.